but you can't go as fast as a jet on your bicycle.
Okay.
But a jet can go as fast as your bicycle when it's just coming away from the terminal. Do you understand?
Yes, but how does this fit life and fairies and the universe?
Well, if there are other worlds beyond the speed of light, our world is part of those worlds.
Right.
Whatever is in our world is in those other worlds, because
Yes.
we're already part of
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
So if there are intelligent living beings in the lesser world, they've got to be intelligent living beings in the greater world, because the beings in the lesser world are already part of the greater world.
Okay.
So if you deny the existence of intelligent beings in the greater reality, you're denying your own existence by definition, by logic.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm predicting if in these worlds of super energy, beyond the speed of light, there are going to be living intelligent beings. And because our world is part of their world, they can see us even if we can't see them.
And I would say that there are some people of us that claim that they can see them.
Yeah, well, I'll explain
How
that
do
a
you
little.
explain that?
I can't explain that at this moment. You have to come back to that question. To explain certain things, I've got to build up the groundwork.
Ah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm a scientist, and I have to work in definite, rigorous steps. You know, I've got to establish my laws.
Terribly boring. I haven't got time for
I
this.
know, but you know, the thing is that there's a second thing. My physics shows that space and time are a consequence of the vortex, and this fits in with Einstein's theory of relativity. Okay, so I recognize that the vortex creates space and time on each plane. So what I'm actually predicting is that waves and particles of energy, the form of energy, is the same on each plane.
Right.
So I'm saying that there are worlds in our, there are worlds, there are rabbits, there are mountains, there are planets, there are stars, you see, in these higher worlds as they are in our world. The laws of physics are exactly the same on each plane. The only difference is the speed of energy. That's key to this, critical to this. So these beings that are wandering around could be just like you and I, physical matter made of molecules and cells and atoms. But the speed of the energy in every atom and molecule is faster than the speed of light. That's all.
So it's all about speed.
All about speed. So this is the second cosmic law. It's the law of simultaneous existence. That these other worlds, if they exist, they're all around us in simultaneous existence with our own. But we're not aware of them because of the difference in speed. Okay. Now we get back to the angels and fairies.
Great.
In the folklore, we're told that angels are all around us, but we are not aware of them because they're moving too fast. And the fairies living at the bottom of the garden, we don't see them because we are too slow and clumsy. And so in both cases, with the angels and the fairies, in the ancient folklore, the separation between us and them was recognized to be a factor of speed. And that blows my mind. That absolutely blows my mind. Here I am as a scientist coming to the conclusion through relativity and studying Albert Einstein, who so few people really understand, that the key factor is speed. And here you are, these ancient mythologies, you know, that people have just discredited about angels and fairies and spirits and other worlds and other realities and all that. Recognize that the key thing, the key separation between us and them is speed.
So is there any way that some of us who would like to see angels and fairies, is there any way we can speed ourselves up? Is it by taking drugs or something?
Well, the way it works, if you read Aldous Huxley, Laws of Perception, he speaks of the brain as a filter that basically suppresses our consciousness of greater reality. In other words, the reason we are not conscious of other worlds is more to do with the physical brain than to do with our conscious ability. That these two laws allow that you, as a being, I'm seeing your physical body, but there could be a physical body, superphysical body, that's in simultaneous existence with your physical body, resonating with the brain, resonating with your physical body. So the law of subsets suggests that you are not. If we call this superphysical body the soul, okay, then can you see we've got a physics of the soul coming out here, not just a physics of angels and fairies. And it's interesting this because Democritus, who founded materialism and the atomic theory 2,600 years ago, was a vehement opponent of the soul. So this opposition to the soul and angels and spirits and what have you goes way back to ancient Greek times where this division occurred. And this is why science today is anti-spiritual. It goes back to Democritus. So the thing is, I'm disproving Democritus. It's a religion, this belief in Democritus, and it's wrong. Einstein has disproved materialism. Okay. So the thing is that you could have a soul, but actually, I'm afraid you don't have a soul. So science is right after all. Prove it. No, the law of subsets says, Tonya, you don't have a soul, the soul has you. In other words, you are not a body with a soul, you are a soul with a body. Okay. Because the law of subsets puts the soul above the body. In other words, the energy runs down here.
The speed is faster.
Yeah. In other words, your physical body is part of the soul world. And your soul simply chooses to step into your body like a motor car. For example, if you just parked your car, I didn't go and shake your car by the hand mirror and say, hello, little car, welcome. I noticed, little car, you possess a Tonya. You possess a woman in there. No, I go and shake you by the hand and say, oh, hello, Tonya, welcome. I see you have a very nice car. In other words, the car doesn't own you. You own the car. We've got to get it the right way round. The soul owns the body doesn't own the soul.
Right.
The spirit owns the soul, which owns the body. It's not the body has a soul and a spirit.
So you're saying the spirit is faster
than the speed of the soul, which is faster than the speed of the physical matter.
Right.
That's the way round. So you can see the value of using science to really analyse religion and spirituality and knock some sense into it.
Yes. And I'm just aware that a lot of the agnostics or the atheists among us will be probably hugely turned off by your because your words of soul and spirit. Yeah. I'm just wondering if is there a more
scientific? Yes, I talk about hyperphysical bodies or hyperphysical reality, superphysical reality. We can always change the language, but again, the fun of this, there's a sense of an element of fun in kind of, I'm actually challenging the very ground of science. In other words, the fundamental assumptions, the atomic hypothesis of Democritus. I'm actually saying Democritus was wrong. I'm going back to Hermes, who was the great inspiration of the Greek civilization, and saying Hermes was right. And a lot of these philosophers, like Aristotle and Democritus and that, they had a bit of the truth, but they didn't have the fundamental understanding of Hermes.
And you're okay about being taken to task on this? Would you like to talk to people who challenge this?
Yes, very much so. But it's also very interesting that most of these atheistic thinkers and these scientists who are opposed to spirituality and religion are biologists. You take Richard Dawkins. I have great respect for Richard Dawkins, by the way. I really like him, and I love his book, The God Delusion. I love people who stir things up, and there's a lot in there. Most of his book I would actually agree with, but it's interesting to note that Richard Dawkins is a biologist and uses biology and Darwin's theory of evolution to counter spiritual and religious belief. And you tend to find that when you go to physicists, it's a different story. A lot of physicists are far more open to consciousness and other possibilities than biologists. And physics is the king of sciences. If we're going to talk about God, if we're going to question the existence of God, we should turn to physics, which is the king of sciences, not biology, which is a subsidiary science.
That could be seen as quite slightly controversial, David.
Oh, I'm sure it would be, but I am a very controversial man and I enjoy controversy.
Okay, good. All power to you.